maximum maybe 4 hours, you know, after I left the class. Everything I knew it here. You know, as far as studying and, I gotta study more because I needed to go on the test, I didn't do it. You know, honestly, I didn't do it. I said about 4 hours max. So everything that you do here is gonna get you ready for that test. You know, it was a little difficult when we walked in, just because of the way it was set up, or we had a few extra questions that weren't counting towards the test. It was like trial questions that weren't gonna count. So it was a longer test, so it was a little harder. You know, halfway through it, I was like, you know what, if I gotta come back and do it again, because I wasn't sure, I didn't feel confident. And I was like, you know what, if I gotta come back, take class again, I'll do it. So I just kept going, you know, instead of stopping. But I got an 85 on the test. You know, passing is 70. So he's gonna hold you to that standard of 85. If you hit that standard, you're doing good. You know, you're gonna do good when you leave this class. You'll have everything you need to know to pass that test. When I started off, there's a few students here that know me. I try to get the best scores. While I'm doing MA with them, I'm always trying to get the best scores. You know, and I score high. So when I started this class and the first test, I got like a 66. I was like, am I in the right place? You know, I got kind of scared. So my test scores didn't reflect 80s. I think the most I got was like a 90. And that's like towards the end of the class, the last week or two. So, you know, the main thing that's going to count for you is that test. The teacher's like, dude, don't worry. The way I'm going to know and the way you're going to know, if you learn what we taught you here, when you pass that test. That's the only way. The tests in here don't matter. You know, it's just getting you ready for that final exam. You know, so I hit submit. I got that 85. Says congratulations. I was just like, you know, he said, some of you are gonna cry because you're happy. Some of you are gonna cry because you didn't pass. So that's really how it happens. You know, so.
So if you don't pass it, you
I think there's a certain amount of time you have to wait to retake the test. But like I said, if you're doing everything you have to hear, you do your homework, you pay attention, you know, drawing blood, all that's easy. You know, but getting ready for the test, that sheet, especially what he's going over right now, that's what you want to focus on. You know, everything else, he'll go over it, but just if you're gonna study when you're here, do it. If he says practice, practice. You know, if he says go over it, go over it. You know, the time you're spending in here, just do it quality time, you know, and then you won't have a problem. As I said, I did that here, and when I left, we had to wait 2 weeks to take the test. You know, okay, you're gonna forget some of the stuff. No, because it was already in there. Those 2 weeks, it was just kind of in my mind, putting everything together, red for this, green for that, this is the attitude, you know. So everything's in there already. When you leave here, everything's gonna be in place when you take the test. When it comes on and you see it, you're gonna be like, oh. You know, a lot of those questions, as soon as I started reading, I knew the answer. I know the answer to this, that one. Yeah. So, you know, just the big thing he had was, you know, stay off your phones. You know, when you're in here, like I said, give quality time, and you won't have a problem. You know, every minute counts in here because you're only here for 5 weekends. We wanted to leave early. We're like, hey, can we leave, you know, 20 minutes early? We got stuff to do. No. You know, you're gonna cheat yourself if you leave early. If you come in late, if you come in late from break, from lunch, you're gonna cheat yourself. And I let the other students know that are in MA with me. I told them, dude, you're gonna cheat yourself both 20, 30 minutes if he leaves you early on Saturday and Sunday. That's already, you know, 1 hour that you're gonna lose out in that weekend. You know, that's the difference if you're gonna pass the test or not. So while you're in here, that's all I can say. My suggestion is pay attention, do your work, you know, learn the technique, you'll be fine. And you won't have any issues. You know, but like I said, the main thing is that final exam, the national exam, and you'll be ready. This class will get you ready. But like I said, you just gotta pay attention, do the work, you won't have any issues.
Okay, everybody, let's bring it up to questions, everybody. I know some of you have a couple questions. Go ahead and raise your hand so Aniceto can actually answer your question.
Where did you take your test out?
I took it here. Normally, I have other licenses. You know, I have security, firearm, pest control. They're all state licenses, you know. And when I took those exams, they say, okay, you're scheduled to go to a certain place.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta go to San Diego, you gotta go to San Bernardino. So I had to drive and look for the place and where's parking, the restroom. All that stuff distracts you. You you know? So you learn the restroom's over there, the parking's over here, you already forgot one of the questions. Put new information in there. At least that's how my mind works. You know, I don't mind it. But the teacher's like, we're gonna get you to take the test here, you're in a setting where you're comfortable, you know the school, you've been coming here. So the test will be set up here. You know, yeah, you won't have to go anywhere else. Unless you don't do it through him, then you will. If you don't take it when it's scheduled through him, then you will. You know, you have to call NCCT and they'll say, okay, we'll meet you such day at this time at this location.
How much was it?
How much was it?
Yeah.
That's $90.
$90.
Yeah, for you.
Cool.
So it's well worth it. Plus, you know, just that you're gonna be in the comfort, you know, your own home per se.
Yeah.
So it was all Instagram, like no technique, they didn't want you didn't have to do anything physically?
No. And I don't know if you've gone over that, but the state, they really don't require you to, that's just extra what you do, you know? They only require, I believe, 40 hours of training. And if you practice, it's on a dummy arm, you know? You're actually getting hands-on, you know, because I have a sister, she did that phlebotomy. She didn't do it here. She did it somewhere else. So when she finally went to draw somebody's blood, she was drawing blood on a dummy arm the whole time. You don't know how that person is going to react. You don't know. It's not the same, you know, doing it live. A lot of you